Hello, welcome back to my channel, guys. Um, this is a channel where I want to focus on encouraging you, motivating you, and inspiring you that you are never too late, you're never too old to get started and um, really living life to the fullest, to the maximum best of your ability. um and that's what this is. That's what I want to start making videos about. So um I want to share with you guys in the next 5 minutes something that God put in my heart a few days ago that was really it kind of really helped shift my perspective on how to perceive life in general. And it was very encouraging, and I want to share with you guys what God told me in my heart, of how to view life. So pretty much what he told me, and this is literally him. This could have never come from me. So what he told me is that we tend to think of life in a linear manner. We tend to think of life that that at this age you're supposed to, do this. At this age you do this, and then at this age you do that. And I guess to give you more concrete examples, like from 18 to 22 is when you're supposed to go to college, and then after 22 you graduate. You're supposed to, get a job, find a job, and hopefully be on your way to finding a spouse to marry. And obviously with that, before your 30s you should have a few children by that point, have a whole family. So this is just, kind of like some examples of like the way we think, or the way we tend to think, that we tend to think in a linear manner, in a linear chronological manner, that things are supposed to happen by certain ages. And if we don't, then we start feeling like we're falling behind. um and we start feeling like, oh, maybe I'm too old to go back to school, I'm too late to do this. We start having those types of thoughts. And I'll give you an example. Okay, so I have my my 25-year-old friend that I already mentioned to you on the last video, that he felt too old to learn how to bike ride at 25 years old. But as I proved him wrong, I mean, he learned in one day, and now he loves bike riding. He really enjoys it. Well, another thing he mentioned, um, is that he feels just behind in life in general. When he told me that, maybe I was a little bit insensitive, but I kind of laughed. I'm like, "Are you serious? You think you're behind in life, bro? You're 25. What are you behind on? You're literally just starting your life." So I don't know. I don't think I was insensitive. I mean, just um the nature of our conversation, we were just kind of talking casually, and he just kind of said this, and I was like, bro, you are nowhere near behind. At 25 you're good, you're good. Like, he was feeling behind, that he's never had a girlfriend, and obviously no kids, and all these things. So he was just like feeling like he is so behind. I'm like, you are not. um but anyway, so that was kind of like his example, or him, how he feels behind at 25 at life in general. And I'm sure you, as well as I, or that you think the same way as I do, that he's not behind. um Anyways, so what God told me, that how we should perceive life instead, or like how I should perceive my life, is that we shouldn't think of it in a linear manner, but that we should see it in chapters, like in chapter segments. So that, as I thought about that, because that's all he told me. He's like, think of your life in chapters, and he didn't say more. So then I was just kind of thinking about that, and kind of reflecting on that concept, to think of my life in chapters. And so as I thought about it more, I was like, you know what, that makes sense, because life is not linear. I mean, we wish it was, right? We wish that it was like A, B, C, D, and E, like accordingly, like things go in order. But no, life is messy. Life has detours. Life has setbacks. Life has unexpected things that happen all the time. Um, I guess like some more concrete examples, like, um, health issues. That's something that, no one expects to get cancer or like things like that. And unfortunately, not everyone survives cancer, but there are people that do, thank God. But going through that process, like that kind of, you think of that as like, oh, that just kind of like sets you off like on a detour and things like that. But no, no, no. That's a chapter of your health and your struggles of going through that, and that's just one thing, and there's so many other things, like having children. What if I wanted to finish school, or maybe I did finish school, but I wanted to pursue the career of whatever I studied in, but and I have children and I would rather actually stay home, take care of them, raise them. And then so that's that chapter of parenting, being a parent, and raising your children. That's a chapter. And then later on, you can always go back and do resume that career that you wanted to do. um, i actually um, I actually know, I went in my school. There was this little school elementary education conference that happened a few weeks ago, and that was the story of one of the speakers. And she even got emotional, because that's exactly what her story was, is that she did graduate. She did work for like 1 or 2 years, as a teacher, but then she got pregnant with her first child, and she decided, you know what, I want to like stay home and raise my children, or my child at the time. Now I believe she said she has like 3 or 4 now, but they're all grown now. They're all, well, not grown. They're like, I don't know, like they're not babies no more. They're like teenagers, maybe some like around 10, 11, 12. So they're like older children. And um and that's what she said. She said like she recently, uh kind of like this that desire to go back to teaching kind of came back to her heart, and she was thinking, like, she was trying to brush it off and be like, no, I'm crazy. I'm older now. I don't have as much energy as I did when I was, like freshly out of college. Like, I don't have that same energy no more. And so she was kind of trying to brush it off, but that that desire in her heart wouldn't go away. And so she decided, you know what, if God opens the door for me to teach at a school, I'll go ahead and take that as a sign that for me to do it. And that's exactly what happened. A door was open to her at this one particular school. They offered her a job position to teach fourth graders, I think. And she consulted her husband about it. He was like, I don't know, but like, if you want to do it, I'll support you. But it's just, I feel like it's gonna be a lot on your plate, because we still have kids. They may not be babies, but they're still kids. Um, and she was like, I'm just, I'm just gonna do it and just pray it all goes well. And so this was her story, and she said that this is her first year back. Like, this year, 2025, is for her first year back teaching after like a 10-year pause, I guess you can say. And she got emotional. She really did. And I felt for I actually got emotional myself, guys, because I feel for her. I know exactly what she's talking about, cuz I mean, in I'm 33. I'm about to be 34 next month. And here I am in school. I should have finished school. Like, I did actually, when I graduated from high school, I did go straight to college, and I did go to college for like 2 years. I feel like I was almost done with my second year of college, and that's when I dropped out. And life happened. I I started doing all these things, pursuing a dance career, going on TV, um, and becoming a model on Instagram, as many of you know. And I got married. And that didn't go well. That marriage didn't go well. I'm not married no more. But the point is, I didn't go in that chronological order of like sticking through college, the 4 years right after high school. Like, I didn't do that. I went for 2 years, went on this huge pause, and now here I am, 33 years old now, in school again, resuming that. So I totally felt what she was talking. I totally felt her tears. I totally felt her emotion, and I got emotional myself, and I was fighting to hold back the tears myself. um and yeah, so anyways, the point is, that when God told me this, that life doesn't work in a linear manner, I completely understood what he was talking about, because life doesn't work that way. We wish it did, but it doesn't. Life, and so when he told me to think of life in chapters, because that thinking of it in chapters is more appropriate. It's more appropriate to how life works, because when we think of life in chapters, then we take off that pressure of like, oh, I'm supposed to be this age, to do this, or I'm supposed to be that age to do that. Like, no, all of those pressures are taken off, and we understand life is not linear, and so um, life is in chapter segments. And like, so for example, in my case, this chapter of my life, this chapter of my life is to be in school. I started last year in September, and I'm going to graduate next year, but I'm still gonna do 3 more years to get my master's degree. So like, this is my school chapter. It's in my 30s. you know, so be it. So be it. Um, but you just experience. I experience school differently now than I did when I was in 19, 20, and in school, because I've lived life now. I've lived life, so obviously I'm going to experience it differently. I appreciate it more. I appreciate being in school. I see it as a privilege to even be able to be in school at this age, because at this age I'm completely aware that at this age most people are busy raising families and having husbands and all of that, and I'm not. I'm not going through that type of chapter at this age. So that allows me to be in school right now and and do what God is calling me or putting in my heart to do. He's telling me to be in school right now and to pursue a degree, to be a therapist. So I'm like, okay, God, okay. I kind of didn't want to, because I'm just I'm just feeling like I'm old, or like I'm older compared to, everyone else in school. And I'm like, at one point I was like, God, do you realize how old I am? I was kind of, this was before he told me about, life works in chapters. And I was telling him this, like, God, do you realize how old I am? I'm not in my 20s, God. And, I was telling him all this, but what he did instead, or like what he did in response to me kind of acting this way toward him and trying to, kind of get myself off the hook of, you know, doing what I feel like he was telling me to do, to stay in school for like basically 3 more years. I was trying to get off the hook, but what he did in response is that he kept sending me person after person. I feel like it was at least 3 people that he sent my way, 3 or 4 people that he sent my way that finished that exact degree, a mental health counseling degree, in their 50s, in their 60s. So looking at that, I'm like, well, I mean, in comparison, I guess, I mean, if they could do it, I guess I could do it too. And that was his response to me. So yeah, I just really appreciated that, what he's put in my heart, that life works in chapters, and for me to perceive it that way. And I'm sharing that with you guys too, because I feel that that helped me a lot for myself to kind of shift my perspective, so that I no longer think this way. That I'm not too late or I'm not too old to do anything. That you can do anything at any age, and you shouldn't put limitations on yourself just because of the number of how old you are. Like that means nothing. If you're in good health and in good shape, and you want to do it, then do it. Do it, guys. Do it. um so yeah, that's what I leave. That's what I share with you guys today, and I pray that you take that to heart. Take those words that God gave me. I'm sharing them with you, and take it to your heart, and maybe even like ask God, like ask Him, like, God, what do you want me to do at this point in my life and this chapter of my life? What do you want me to do? Ask Him that. That's what I ask Him all the time. I ask Him all the time. That's what I've been asking Him that, like, because I'm gonna graduate next year with my bachelor degree, and I've been asking Him, God, what do you want me to do next after I graduate from with my bachelor degree next May? What's the next step that you want me to take? And so, like, I'm always asking Him that, and I feel like sooner or later He does answer me. And so yeah, I invite you guys to do the same thing, and see what He tells you, see what He puts in your heart. And don't just ask one time. You gotta keep asking. That's what I do. I keep asking Him until I feel like He starts answering me. Sometimes He answers you right away, and sometimes He doesn't. Sometimes, He works in a different timeline. Literally He works outside of time. That's Him. God is outside of time. So yeah, He is the beginning, He is the end. He's amazing. He's yeah. All right, well, I love you guys so much. I hope you guys did have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I apologize I didn't make a video yesterday. I was busy writing a 10-page paper that, thankfully, thank God, it was with God's help. He helped me to finish it yesterday. But yeah, that took a lot longer than I thought it would, and I basically did that all day yesterday, and so I wasn't able to make a video. I'm working on a second essay right now. I know it's so many essays, guys. But I was like, you know what? Let me take a short, tiny little break to make a video for you guys that was supposed to be 5 minutes long, and it's not anywhere near 5 minutes long. So yeah, have a great weekend, guys. I love you so much, and big hug I sent to you guys. Bye.